Well, hello, my name is David Close. I'm a professor at the University of British Columbia, director of the Aboriginal Fisheries Research Unit. I've been there for about 6 years, and I work in the Fisheries Center as well as the Department of Zoology. And here today listening to folks talk about the importance of salmon and how the community can come together to make a difference in fisheries governance. And so from my perspective, at least, we have to have a movement to build capacity for our young people and education. And I think it's important not to forget who we are as Indigenous people, but we also have to get the science tools to be able to work and try to defend our resources and our fisheries. So that's going to be very important in the near future as the political landscape changes and rights are recognized and the First Nations have a role in co-management. Today, First Nations are marginalized here in Canada, and so I think it's important though to prepare for the future. And so when that time does come, we have people thinking and considering a different viewpoint about the system, about nature. And so I'm really excited about meeting with everybody here at the Convergence and talking about different ideas on how we make change at different scales. So we can think about it as very grassroots movements and trying to maybe stop activities that are harmful to the watershed and the resources, the fish. And then we can have, including building collaborations with science to help in protecting the watershed. And we don't always have to rely on the government agencies. We can try to build alliances with the universities and other foundations and other sources of resources, funding to do the research. So I think that's an important to recognize that, as well as working at the national level is important. And then we even touched on working at the international level, which I think is very important, and thinking about if the government of Canada will not recognize Aboriginal fishing rights and allow or work with us to be co-managers, then we need to be thinking about going above to international arena. And one of the speakers here talked about the UN, the United Nations, and different articles to work through. And I think those are very important to consider as well. For a long time, we haven't thought about ourselves as an international state or players in that realm. And in many ways, the powers of UN, the state status, don't recognize First Nations or our tribes in the states as sovereign nations, but we now have the Indigenous rights moving through the UN. So I think there's going to be mechanisms to bring a lot of these issues to light. So I think there's a good future ahead. We have to really prepare for it, and we need to mobilize our young people to get the tools that we need to become warriors for the fish and warriors for natural resources. I think that's the main thing that I gathered from today and contributing to this meeting.